Hello, you're listening to Mind Your Business, the podcast that lets you get to know the stories behind some of your favourite Scottish businesses. Hope you enjoy the episode. So hello and welcome back to another episode of Mind Your Business. Now this week I am joined by Kirsty, who is one half of Molke, the underwear company. So hi Kirsty, thank you. Thank you for joining me. So basically you produce underwear and you're all about the ethical and the inclusivity and the body positive.
Absolutely.
And all that good stuff. And I know things are growing really quick just now and you're expanding and it's all going great. But I kind of want to take it right back to when you started. Like, how did this all begin?
So I got pregnant with my first child. I was actually managing a pub at the time, which is quite different. I didn't particularly enjoy the job. And after I had my son, I knew that I wanted to do something different. I wanted to go back to being creative again as well. And I wanted something that I could do at home so I could stay with him for as long as possible. And I decided to buy a sewing machine and start up a business sewing from home with no knowledge or experience in it. But I do love a challenge. We use cloth nappies, so using a basic template of a nappy, I just worked away at it. And then just before my son turned 1, I set up as a sole trader and started selling my custom cloth nappies. And it all sort of went from there, really. The nappies actually grew really popular.
Yeah.
And it was just crazy. I bought several new machines, an embroidery machine, and the nappies had quite detailed embroidery on them, ruffles, all sorts. And then when I had my second son, a couple of years later, I started to move into clothing. Again, something that I've not touched on before at all. I watched a lot of YouTube tutorials. And I made them some clothes, showed them to my customers. My business was run through Facebook primarily, and it all sort of snowballed again. And soon enough, I was taking orders for custom clothing for children. I was breastfeeding my son, and the reason I moved into the adults was because I was getting so fed up with the lack of clothing available to me that wasn't black, white, navy or Breton stripes.
Yeah.
I'm a colourful person and I feel better when I wear colour. I feel more confident. So after I'd had my kids, I sort of lost that sense of identity a wee bit, and wearing navy clothes just wasn't me, and it didn't make me feel good about myself. So I bought fabric for me. Mostly it was the kids' designs, rainbows, unicorns, fun things, and I made myself some clothes with breastfeeding access. And again, these then proved really popular with my customers. A pal of mine in Montrose then said to me, why don't you try making a bra? Because, I was wearing ill-fitting, ugly, grey bras.
Yeah, uncomfortable.
Yeah, and nursing bras are just even worse. They're just ugly, and there's just next to nothing about. And I thought, well, I'm never going to be able to make a bra, but there's ways I love a challenge. So I gave it a shot. And my first bra, it didn't fit very well, but I posted it on my Facebook page and people were sharing it and commenting, and so many other women were saying actually they want something they could breastfeed in that was colourful, comfortable, and look good and made them feel good. Underwear, whilst it's not usually on show, except if you're me, because I'm always flashing it, it still can affect how you feel about yourself, just like clothes can. And, so I sort of realised there was more to it. It wasn't just me. And in the subsequent months, I put a lot of effort into designing my own pattern. I've never made a pattern, drafted a pattern. But I just, all my friends came around the house stripped off, met them, they stripped off wherever we were. If you're a friend of mine, basically, you got your clothes off and tried on bras. And I think that's why the design works so well. It's not a computer drafted design. It's designed by me, and it's it's been sort of made on women, you know, of all shapes and sizes, not a small dress form that doesn't truly reflect a woman's curves and shape. The changes in our breasts, you know, everyone can measure. You can get several women that measure the same, but actually their breasts work in different ways. And I think that's the beauty of the design and why it's proved so popular. And it was actually really humbling to discover that, you know, actually what I wanted and needed, so many women did. And back then we were breastfeeding focused, but within months, you know, it became apparent that it wasn't just breastfeeding women that wanted to enjoy it. You know, and we had my mum's friend who's in her 70s, she, you know, had one, and then I was like, actually, you know, and we had so many customers getting in touch saying, I don't breastfeed, but can I wear one? We're like, wow, you know, this is obviously stopping women. So you know, the brand evolved and adapted, and now we have the youngest customer we know about's 10, although I suspect they might be younger, and the eldest is in her 80s. And all over the world, you know, and it's just mad thinking that something that I designed, you know, in my front room in Blairgowrie is now worn by people all over the world.
That must be such
and
a
the
good
demand's
feeling.
just growing. It's just bizarre. But I love the fact that we're able to bring that comfort and confidence to so many. Yeah, it's awesome.
That's so fun. Like that you just had this one idea and it's like snowballed into all this.
And it's awesome.
So when did you know that things were kind of getting too big just for you to take on yourself? When did you have to start sort of building a team? And
it was in 2016. You know, I was sewing at my house in my front room. It was just everything decked out, fabric machines. There was just no room for anything. And you know, I was sort of spending all hours sewing. It was even my kids were asleep, or you know, in the night, and my husband was home. I was just in there, and it began to take over. You know, it was too much, and I realised that I needed, you know, it's the best decision I ever made actually, to realise where my weaknesses were and to find somebody that could help me with those. You know, my accounts are shocking. I've never been organised. I'm that typical creative stereotype, and I hate it. I just didn't like it. I was wasting so much time on admin. So I was actually chair of the local nappy library in Perth. It was council run at the time, and Nappuccinos. So because obviously I was still involved with cloth nappies, still using them for my youngest, and we used to meet every month. And when the council stopped funding it, it was going to be shut down. So myself and some friends took it over on a voluntary basis and started running it ourselves. Just purely giving up our time and running it. You know, it's not for profit. But it was just something we were passionate about, and I was chair, and Roz, who is now, you know, co-founder, director of Molke, she was the treasurer. You know, we weren't good friends, but I could see at the time, but I could see she was really good with money and way more organised than I was. So I asked her to help me out a few hours a week just with the admin side of things, and she agreed. And that was sort of middle of 2016, and then within a few months she gave up her other job, which is part-time, and then was just dedicating so much time to helping me. It really helped the business because, you know, I could sew more, had way more time, but also it sort of helped my mental health a bit, because suddenly I wasn't under quite so much pressure, and I could focus on what I enjoyed and what I was good at. And it was great, and we were, you know, we could see we were a good team straight away. And then in November that year, I actually, somebody introduced me to GrowBiz, which is a small sort of business advisory service for rural Perthshire. And they're based in Blairgowrie, where I live. And I went along and met Jackie Brighton, and that, I think, was the most, you know, incredible day, because I think without that meeting, we wouldn't be where we are now. And she made me realise that, you know, it was a really viable business, that what I was doing was actually really valuable. And I think as a sole trader, you're so often, and maybe women in particular, maybe we sort of, you know, lack this self-belief, and I felt as a sole trader working from home, it was that pin money thing of doing a hobby but getting a wee bit of money, and it was a really negative way to view myself. And actually, you know, I'd love to go back and slap myself. And it was great because Jackie sort of made me realise that, you know, there was a lot of potential there, and also that, you know, I was doing a good job, and not just, you know, valuable for my family and our finances, but for the economy as well of Scotland. If we put together all that income from sole traders, you know, especially in rural areas, that's really important, and it's something that I'm very passionate about still. So yeah, you know, with Grow Biz's support, we then entered into a few months, a lot of meetings, business plans. They gave us support with access to an accountant and things like that. And by December 2016, only a month later, we were registered as a limited company. Roz and myself were directors. It was very quick, the whole process. A couple of months later, we had the business plan, more meetings with the bank, getting funding. We took over our first premises in March 2017. And then with support from Business Gateway and Grow Biz, we had some HR support, and we started advertising for machinists. It was all quite overwhelming at times. I got my house back, which was great, and it meant I couldn't shut down when I got home, but at least I could take time away, which I think is so valuable. It's that self-care thing, you know. It was, it wasn't such a huge overlap. So we did a crowdfunder campaign before we launched in July, just to help us fund more machines, staffing, fabric, and so on. We raised £10,000 very quickly. It was incredible, the support from our customers. You know, it was just overwhelming.
So was that all from the customer base that you'd built up?
Well, it wasn't. We actually had, I think there's a lot of people out there that just wanted to support a woman-led business, a Persia business. You know, people sort of support crowdfunder for all different reasons. And I thought it would be the existing customers, and there were a lot of them, and I'm, you know, so thankful to them. But we actually found we had a lot of other women come forward and support us and back us, just because they thought, you know, what we were doing was such an awesome thing. You know, it was really lovely, and from that we still got a lot of those customers today, you know, which is just amazing. They bought a pair of pants just because they wanted to support us, and actually they're still customers today. And I also got the male MD of Crowdfunder UK, or he was then, to pose in a pair of our rainbow pants and put it across their social media, which actually then led to me winning an award and the First Minister taking a selfie of us, me with my bra out. So it all just snowballed. That year was just unreal. It was just a crazy year, but brilliant. And then we launched in July, sold out within, you know, minutes. The website crashed, everything broke. It was fantastic. It was so stressful.
I bet.
And things have just grown since then, really. Just been such a journey, you know. Really has, and it's just flown by. Flown by.
Yeah, and I know, like, your customers, like you say, they really got behind you, but now even more, it's like a real community that you've created.
It's lovely, it is, and, you know, we like to think that, we support more than just boobs, and actually, you know, without meaning to, we've built this wonderful community where women can support each other, and it's so lovely to see, you know, and it's some of the customers and messages we get as well. They're so touching, and it's so wonderful seeing, you know, we aren't in this to make load of money. That's not what we're about. You know, Roz and I genuinely believe in what we do, in the difference a bra can make to so many people. And it's quite humbling when you get these messages, and it just is, it's really emotional. And it, on hard days, you know, I will read through them because it makes you realise why you're doing it. You know, if you can support a woman. The tiniest thing, like, you know, we get messages from women who are going through chemo and things like that, saying that actually wearing their power set does make them feel, you know, like a superhero. And it's just, that's incredible. That's, you know, amazing. It really is. It's wonderful.
To know that something that you've made is like making that impact. That's amazing.
It's, you know, I can hardly believe it, but it's fab. It really is.
So I wanted to talk a wee bit more about the brand. Because obviously you have these really strong values behind everything that you do, and that's amazing. So was that always from the outset that you wanted to have like inclusivity and sustainability at the heart of things?
Absolutely, it's something that Ros and I have always believed in, and it's one of the reasons we chose to use cloth nappies, as Ros is, just as into them as I was, and it's, at the root of our personal beliefs. We have strong beliefs in sustainability, environmental ethics, and so on, and it wasn't an option that we wouldn't carry those into the business. Also, I think the whole retail industry is changing, and whether companies believe it or they pay lip service to it, I think they're realising that they do have to change now. Everything is changing, and people are becoming more careful about where they buy. The ethical consumers sort of really coming forward, and it's brilliant. I think more and more companies need to be aware, especially fashion, with fast fashion, people buying clothes, throwing them away. It's just not something we believe in. We encourage people to buy and sell their bras, and actually there's a really they have a good resale value, which again is something that we're we're happy to support. If that bra can live a longer life, then we're all for that, and we are looking into ways of developing that further ourselves, and what we can do when the bra reaches the end of its life. But being a living wage employer, for example, that was always part of the business plan, and it was something that I was determined to do as soon as the business was secure financially. And we're really proud, to be living wage employers. We're proud to be sort of boosting local employment, and long term, we want to be one of the main employers in Perthshire, and being able to offer jobs in rural Perthshire as well. We're really passionate about that. We love, having the bras made in Scotland and people wearing them all over. I think it's awesome, especially, we have the Blairgowrie tartan, the berries and cherries tartan, which is designed by a master weaver in Blair, where the business began. And it's things like that. They're sold we stocked in a shop in Canada, in Toronto, and I love the fact that they have the Blairgowrie tartan, for sale over there. Just little things like that. It's really lovely, and it's supporting local designers, local artisans, and things. We use local designers for the fabric design, things like that.
That's amazing.
It's great. We've got such a wealth of talent. In the UK, and certainly within Scotland, that it's daft not to use it. The one thing we do struggle with is finding skilled machinists, and we're constantly looking to take more on and build the team. So that's something that unfortunately skills are leaving Scotland, but we can bring them back with any luck.
It's so nice to have everything in the one place, like the whole team. From the start to finish, everything.
It is great. Some of our products at the moment are made elsewhere, and we're very strict on the standards. But we can't take everything on, and until we can grow the team and get the premises and so on, unfortunately, you just can't take everything on at once. If you want to make the business sustainable as well, you've got to think long term.
It's a thing when you're growing, it can be a scary thing.
It is, and we can't employ a heap of people at once, and without knowing that their jobs are secure, as well. But it's great. We love it, and we're just hoping that it won't be long before everything is made. But the underwear will always be here.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's cool.
So when it comes to the brand name, where did that come from? What's the meaning behind that?
I
was so worried I was going to mispronounce it. I had to do my research.
It works for, there's other large companies, or there are much larger companies who people pronounce their names differently. And it seems to work for them, but it wasn't. My original name was really awful, and I learned from that actually you should spend a lot of time on choosing your name. Due diligence, check what it is in other languages, check that the domain's not taken elsewhere, or you're not going to be there's any confused messages with other companies with that name. And also, because we were breastfeeding focused then, I wanted something that would sort of nod to that, but without being over the top. I don't, the whole point was to make you feel good about you, not in this role as a mother. So we didn't want something that was this, yummy mummy type thing. we wanted to move away from that, but actually we felt that Molke, it was almost like a wee kid asking for milk, and it had that. But equally, if we did diversify, it was neutral enough that we could,
just like a cool
which was
word.
lucky because but yeah, it's a lovely round vowel sound. It's almost Scandi feel as well, and we are influenced a lot by Scandi designs, the fabric designs and so on. So yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's just a lovely word.
Yeah,
I love the logo, and I like the name Molke. It's
it's something that kind of makes people want to find out more. When you just hear it, you're like, oh, what's that?
It's just nice. It's short, but I don't know. Yeah, it's so tricky. It's one of the hardest things ever, I think, choosing a name for your business.
So
because you're stuck with it then.
So did you have like a huge list then when you were kind of trying to think?
It was a lot of sleepless nights just choosing a name, and a lot of putting it out there to people to see what they felt and how they thought about it. A lot of market research went into it. I didn't want to be stuck with something that then I discovered meant penis in, Swahili or something, or something offensive even, or and it actually means way in German. But yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, and was the rainbow kind of bright, colourful branding, was that always the plan as well?
Always, we love rainbows. Our best seller is actually black, but it was that whole happy, positive, we are, I don't know, it's just something about being fun and colourful, and it's not for everyone, and like I say, we don't carry that across all our products, but I don't know, we just like being positive and upbeat, and I just love rainbows. I just love colour, basically.
You want someone that makes you smile when you look at it.
Exactly. So yeah, we're just all about colour and fun. Even though black is what we sell most of.
Yeah, that's mad actually.
I know. That's when I realised, when we sold tons of black, it made me realise that the underwear stands alone, and it's not, people aren't buying it for the colour. Actually, they're buying it because they like the product. We sell a lot of black.
I would not have thought that. So I kind of wanted to chat about the products a wee bit more. So obviously you said your patterns come from local designers and you get all that done. So how do you think of the next idea, because you have so many amazing patterns?
I've got loads of ideas. Ideas for months. It's really hard. There's so many things we want to do, but we are lucky in that we have such a strong customer base, and within the Facebook group as well as across our social media channels, our customers always all ask for things that they like. And last night in the group, they there was a lot of requests for animal prints, actually.
Leopard print would be cool.
Yeah, leopard print. And we get asked for zebra a lot because it sort of reflects, we have a lot of customers with chronic pain and things like that, and EDS, hypermobility, stuff like that. And they and the zebra print is really symbolic to them, so I'd quite like to do a zebra print at some point. There's so much I want to do. We can't offer too many, because equally we don't want to fall into that trap of lots of limited runs to try, and we don't want to build that hype of you've got to buy something fast, because it's not, that's fast fashion to me, We want to try, and even though we're constantly selling out, we don't need to sell out, we just can't make enough. But so we do sort of plan ahead. We've actually got 3 new designs coming out soon, including the one I'm wearing.
I like that one. It's secret. I can see it.
And there was the unicorns that people got sight of yesterday, which is really awesome, and another print. So we do bring out new prints and then phase out old ones. We always keep there's certain prints and colours that we'll always keep in stock. But it's, I don't know, it's just nice to go through new ones and things. And if we ever see a designer's work we like, we'll approach them, or we do get emailed and people will send us a portfolio and stuff. Unfortunately, there's a limit to how many we can have, and we do make designs in-house. Jen's awesome, and actually Jen, who works for us, she does a lot of the design and social media. I actually approached her initially to do our space fabric, which is awesome, and on my legs at the minute.
I think that's my favourite one.
And Jen, we worked with Jen, Spilth Design. She's a Dundee designer, and it was so fab. And actually, we ended up offering her a job. She was so great. So she now works for us. We stole her, but it's great. So Jen still does a lot of work on the fabric designs.
Yeah,
she's brilliant. But we just sort of work on things together. Just come up with ideas. We take feedback. You know, we're always happy to take on board customer requests. We just can't do everything. Yeah, especially the more obscure requests.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people on like your social media like, oh, is this coming back? Is this one coming back?
I know the flamingos. A lot of people want back the flamingos. They were great, and the Galaxy unicorns people wanted back, and that's why we've actually brought out a newer version of that. Currently, it'll be coming soon. Once the fabric's with us, so you know we do try, but there's just so many things that we'd love to do, and we just can't do everything. Unfortunately, I'd love to. There's some designs I'd love to do myself, but I don't think they'd go down so well. So sadly, I have to think, you know, of everybody
Mass
else.
appeal.
Yeah.
So has there been one that's been your favourite like all time? Is that an impossible question?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what I reach for mostly. I have some that are tie-dyed by a friend of mine to dye for, and she often will tie-dye them for customers, and I have a couple that are rainbow tie-dyed that I love. Wow. The Molke design, that was our Christmas one from over a year ago. I love that one, the colours, and it's not obviously Christmassy, not that I'd care because I'll wear anything all year, but that's one of my favourites. I don't know.
Too many good ones.
Yeah, I'm trying. The dinos I love, although it's not quite bright enough for me.
I love that one as well.
Yeah, I don't know. I really couldn't. It depends what mood I'm in. Often I'll wear my rainbows, to be fair.
Yeah, is that the classic one? Is that like...
I was trying not to say rainbows, but basically it would be rainbows. Anything rainbow. Yeah.
So what was the first?
And my power pants.
Oh yeah, I love those ones too.
They make me feel awesome.
So what was the first design that actually came out?
That was when it was me sewing them all from home, and I got my first website listing them. It was a rainbow stripe. Rainbow. Yeah, it was rainbow.
Classic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it has to be. Yeah. I think we'll always have a rainbow of one form or another, because it's just, you know, the brand, it's rainbows.
Yeah, that's what you're all about.
Plus it's, for me, it's nothing else.
And also the sizing I wanted to chat about, because you have like the most amazing size range. I looked at the chart, I couldn't believe how many different options there is. Yeah, it's a tricky one, and this is something I get a bit, you know, ranty about to do with sizing. There's a lot of larger retailers who will fit to stock. So they'll offer something to their customer that they have in stock. Bra fitting, if I go back to bra sizing, basically, a lot of women are wearing the incorrect size. Yeah. And this comes from years ago, before we had a lot of elastic in bras. People would add 4 inches to the band. So if someone measures a 30 around their underbust, they'll then be put in a 34B, for example, depending on what the bust measurement is. But actually, 80% of support of a bra comes from the band. Right. And it seems illogical that you'd measure how you fit and then you add 4 inches, because then it just gets loose. So the back will rise up, your straps will fall down, you'll tighten the straps, the cup won't fit, and the whole thing feels uncomfortable, and you're adjusting yourself all day long. Yeah. But we seem to be struggling to move away from this. There are some awesome independent companies, and there is one great high street company that measure well. But there are many, and the majority don't, unfortunately, in my view. You can go to different places and have a different size in each one.
And it's frustrating. And like I say, unfortunately, bra sizing, you can measure a certain size, and actually it's down to how your breasts are and your breast tissue, age often, and things like that. And it's really frustrating. Yeah. You know, you can be... fuller on top, which will give you a different size, bottom heavy, and it all changes the sizing. And actually we tend to go by sight rather than anything else, and also if it feels comfortable. Some women have sensory issues, they don't like tight bands. Others, really prefer that support, especially when you've got larger boobs. You need that support of the band. So first off, it was we sort of go by that sizing, and we have the calculator on the website, and it won't necessarily get your size right first time, but at least it'll give you a good starting point based on our sizing. But yeah, it's one thing we really believe in is that inclusivity. And for me, if I can't do something that will appeal to the majority of people, or will fit, the majority of people, because nothing will ever appeal to everyone, then, I don't believe we should really offer that product unless there's very good reasons for it. And it makes our life a lot more difficult, and I can see why the majority of businesses don't do that. They'll just aim for one small part of the market that they think, they can make the most money from. But yeah, it's really not about that for us. No. And there's, we have been told on our journey that we should just focus on what they call plus size, or on what they say is normal sizing, which it really angers me. And we've really come across a lot of negativity from the industry and from professionals about it. But for us, it's just non-negotiable. If we can't offer something that will fit as many people as we can, then, we don't see the point in doing it. And, even now there are customers requesting bigger and smaller, and we are looking at what we can do, what our capabilities are to cater for them. There has to be a line somewhere, but we really are doing our best. Everything takes a lot of time, a lot of work with everything else going on as well. But it is really important for us. And there's so many women out there with, big boobs, huge, so we're talking M cup upwards, or even, K, L cups. And it's really frustrating for them, because they can't find anything anywhere else.
And they
can't
find
very
anything.
little, or certainly not without wires, or that gives them the right shape.
Or even just that's fun and bright,
or feels comfortable. Even if they just want something for weekends or at home. It's really frustrating. I want to find something that they can wear. For sure. It's really crap that they're just left out, because the big companies just think, there's not enough of them for us to make money from, so we won't.
That's horrible, isn't
it? It's crap. It really is. It's not on.
Mentality.
So if we can do something, and we are, constantly looking at further development.
I think that's amazing.
Certainly this year.
I also wanted to chat about your social media, kind of on the same page. It's such a breath of fresh air to look at it compared to some of the stuff you see on Instagram. It's so positive and inclusive, and everyone looks amazing.
Thank you. That's good to hear. We try. We really, and again, it's that we really believe in what we do and what we say, and we try and show that. We use our customers as models. Every now and then when we're doing a photo shoot, we put a shout out if anyone would like to come. Obviously we can only take a few people, but we love that we are reflecting the actual people that buy our products. And also it's lovely to be able to meet them as well. And it's brilliant. Really enjoy that part of it. We love showing our customers and how they look. And also showing the vast range of, women that are out there, body shapes, sizes, and so on. It's really great. So if anyone ever, wants to model, we always recommend they drop us an email if they feel, and certainly if they feel underrepresented in media and in retail, then even more so give us a shout, because we'd love to represent them.
It's so nice seeing that, instead of just everyone looking the same and making, when you scroll through Instagram, you just feel bad about yourself.
And it's just shit, isn't it? Because that's not what it's about. And also you don't want to buy something without seeing how it would actually look on you. So we have the customer gallery on the website as well. Customers can upload photos, and it gives you the chance to look for your size and see how it does fit on others, which I think is really good as well. And again, it's that, showing how you could look in the underwear, as opposed to someone that maybe doesn't represent the vast majority.
Someone that the brands have
every body is valid and every shape is valid, and but it's sometimes you need to show more than one type.
Yeah,
I think.
And I think that kind of helps with your community feel as well, because I know you share people when they do their Molke Flash and you share it.
Molke Flash Monday.
Yeah.
And I think it's really nice to do that, and it's a wee bit of fun.
Winter,
although we've had an absolute crap winter this year and there's not really been much snow to talk about, we do the Molke challenge where people strip off.
I've seen that.
Go swimming or rolling around. I've done a snow angel in my underwear before. It's really good fun.
God,
but it's just one of those odd things that actually is really fun to do. And we always, if our customers want to strip off and take photos in the snow, then we love seeing it.
No, I think it's amazing. I think the community that you've built is so fun and positive and all good stuff.
We hope so.
Yeah, so do you kind of have a plan for the rest of the year? I know you're expanding a lot and you've got a lot of things going on. What's the kind of world domination plan?
Yeah, pretty much world domination. This year, we're focusing, we're working really hard on the swim at the minute, which has a lot of people are asking for, a lot. And it's something that we're really excited about, but equally, it takes a lot of work. It's not so simple as putting the swim fabric to the current design, because we found it doesn't work, not as well as we'd like.
Right.
So we've been developing a swim design and, working on that, which has actually been really difficult. A lot of people, and I certainly didn't realise the amount of work and time that can go into a new design.
Yeah.
When I think back, I spent months and months, years on the bra design, but I wasn't experienced at all, but even when you are and you've got all the equipment, it's still because we don't just want to make something and sell it. For us, it's about testing it, getting our customers to try it on, making sure it goes up to certain sizes as well, and that's really tricky with swim fabric to get that support without the wires. So it's taken up a lot of time, but that's a great plan for this year. We're also working on a few other things, hopefully, for later this year, but they're secret. Again, more sort of inclusive designs and things that I think will be great. And again, building the team of machinists, we will be taking on more, and just trying to keep things going and deal with the demand, because we're just, every time we think we get there, people tell each other, and tell others about the products, and then suddenly we're swamped again, which is amazing. And we love that, our customer base has grown through word of mouth recommendation, which really is the best you can get, and it's absolutely incredible.
It's obviously,
and we love that, someone will buy one, tell their mum, their sister, get their daughter, and we've seen 3 generations wearing them, and it's just amazing, absolutely amazing. But so cool. We just can't make enough. Yeah. So I'm sorry, everybody. We keep selling out. We're trying really hard.
The product's too good. That's the problem. No, that's amazing. That's so exciting to see where things go.
Yeah.
Well, this is a wee section that I call Check Them Out.
Aye.
So if you've got any small businesses that you like, could be local, could be anyone, feel free to shout them out.
There's a few. Like I mentioned, To Die For, Manchester, Lou does amazing tie-dye, a lot of rainbows, which I obviously love.
I love that.
More bright colourful clothing, JJ Giraffe, who I do get quite a lot of my clothes from, because she just, you can choose awesome fabrics. And if you sew, check out Mibs Fabrics, because she has some good stuff. There's what Lydia made. She's another Scottish underwear designer, maker. She's fab in Glasgow. And, that's one thing that we're not all about competition, we like to boost other independent small businesses, and there's enough for us all, and she makes fab underwear. And it's that, Scottish made, Scottish design, and she's brilliant. And again, really inclusive, awesome stuff. Her Instagram's fab. And lastly, Bonnie Bling, who's a Scottish amazing jewellery designer.
Amazing.
Yeah, I love Bonnie Bling, so Mari, you're ace.
Perfect. Well, I'll tag all those people in the post when this goes live, so that people can check all them out. And the last thing is for you to plug yourself. So where can we find you online? Where can we find you on Instagram?
Molke.co.uk is our website. Instagram, we're Molke_UK. We're on Twitter and obviously Facebook. Generally, if you search for Molke, we pop up, or Molke UK, or Molke Bras. Yeah, we're there. Yeah, because they do check us out.
Amazing. Yeah, definitely go and check them out. And thank you so much for chatting with me today.
No worries.
Thank you for telling me the
Thanks
stories so far. That's been so exciting. And yeah, check out Molke, and I will speak to you next week. Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Mind Your Business. Head over and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Mind Your Business Podcast to see everything that we've been chatting about in this episode.